Deep inside the Fire Ant Cavern, a tiny red hero prepares for 10 terrifying trials. From our brave ant, the camera glides past every challenge toward one glowing giant honey jar. Kyo the red super ant breathes in, straightens his cape, and steps toward the very first trial. Below him, lava bubbles and hisses as the trembling stone bridge dares him to take another step. Kyo peeks down at the lava, tiny legs shaking. One wrong move, and the stones might vanish. He closes his eyes, feels each stone's rhythm, and starts counting the safe beats inside his head. On the right beat, he leaps to the next stone, wobbling, but his balance grows braver each jump. Now he hops from rock to rock in a daring dance, barely escaping each stone that tumbles away. With one last leap, Kyo lands on solid ground, and ahead, a shifting maze of fiery walls awakens. From above, the maze twists and slides, its burning walls constantly trading places to confuse any explorer. Kyo enters the moving maze, and behind him, the stone gate rumbles shut with a heavy, echoing thud. Left paths open, right paths close, and Kyo frowns. This maze refuses to stay the same for long. He pauses at a crossroads, noticing flickering fire patterns above that secretly sketch the maze's hidden map. Kyo gently taps the walls with his antennae, matching their movement to each flash of fire overhead. Trusting the fiery rhythm, he turns exactly when the lights say so, slipping through gaps before they slam shut. At last he bursts from the maze's exit, walls sealing behind him as a crumbling stone corridor appears ahead. The camera soars along the corridor of cracked floor tiles, revealing bottomless gaps and lava glowing beneath. Facing the broken pathway, Kyo tests the first stone, watching dust crumble into the fiery pit below. His heart jumps as a distant tile collapses into lava. Fear whispers that every step might be the last. He tosses tiny pebbles onto different tiles, listening closely. Weak stones groan and crack, strong ones ring solid. Using each ringing note as a guide, Kyo dashes across the safe tiles, leaving crumbling traps behind him. From a low angle, his little feet spring over glowing gaps, as tiles shatter and plunge into the lava. He lands on the final platform, turns back to see tiles collapsing like dominoes, then faces a glowing stone wall. The camera circles the wall of light, where tiny fireflies form flickering patterns across hundreds of stone squares. In front of the towering glow wall, Kyo gently taps one square. A firefly inside flares brighter, then drifts away. He tries pressing random lights, but nothing opens. His hopeful smile fades into a puzzled, slightly worried frown. Stepping back, he spots a faint honey jar shape hidden in the glowing pattern, a secret picture waiting to appear. Carefully, he guides each firefly into place, tracing the golden outline of a jar with patient, gentle touches. When the final firefly settles, the honey shape blazes bright, and the stone wall shivers with shimmering cracks. The wall splits open, revealing a roaring red sandfall ahead, as Kyo smiles proudly and marches toward the next trial. The camera dives along the blazing sandfall, where red grains pour like lava down a twisting, dangerous slide. At the top of the sandy drop, Kyo tests the ground, watching hot red sand crumble beneath his tiny feet. He flinches as sparks jump from tumbling stones, imagining himself swallowed by the rushing, burning river of sand. Looking around, he notices flat, cooled rocks half buried in the slope, perfect little boards for a brave rider. Kyo hops onto one stone, plants his feet, and pushes off, surfing down the sand with widening eyes. He leans left, then right, dodging rolling firestones as his makeshift board sprays glowing sand in every turn. With a final swoop, he skids onto solid ground, his board spinning to a stop near a fiery spider bridge. From above, A giant web of glowing threads stretches over lava, some strands bright and strong, others dim and brittle. Kyo steps to the web's edge, staring at the fiery strands that sway gently above the bubbling lava below. His voice trembles as he imagines slipping. One wrong strand could snap, sending him tumbling into the heat. Carefully, he follows the bright humming strands, stepping like a dancer, always choosing the lines that sing strongest. Reaching the far side of the web, he hops off the last strand as a chamber of grinding stone wheels appears. The camera sweeps over massive stone gears turning above rivers of lava, their jagged teeth clashing in thunderous rhythm. Kyo stares at the spinning wheels, each one turning at a different speed, leaving only tiny moments of safe space. He swallows hard, picturing himself crushed between the gears if he misjudges even a single careful leap. Watching their rhythm, he counts quietly, timing the gaps as each wheel lines up a narrow path through the chaos. On the perfect beat, he springs onto the first gear, racing along its edge as it grinds steadily forward. He leaps from gear to gear, diving through small openings just before the stone teeth slam shut behind him. He lands on a stable platform, the grinding slowly fading, while ahead, spinning pillars of fire begin to whirl awake. The camera spirals around the fiery pillars, each one spinning bright circles of flame, leaving only slivers of darkness between. Kyo steps into the ring of spinning fire, shielding his eyes from the bright, blazing trails that fence him in. He flinches as the flames whoosh past his antennae, the heat licking his face with every dangerous rotation. Taking a steady breath, he studies the rhythm, spotting tiny open windows that appear when several pillars line up just right. On the next opening, he darts forward, weaving through the first gap as fiery circles swirl wildly around him. He twists and ducks between swirling flames, his cape trailing just behind every close, heart-stopping brush with fire. With one final dash, he bursts out of the fiery ring, facing a silent hall lined with tall, shimmering crystal mirrors. From above, beams of red light bounce between crystal towers, missing a locked door carved with a glowing honey symbol. Kyo approaches the first mirror, watching a single beam of fiery light hit the crystal and scatter uselessly across the stone. He nudges one mirror at random. The beam flickers off a wall, and nothing changes, leaving him more confused than before. Looking closer, he spots tiny honey symbols etched at the bases of certain crystals, pointing toward the sealed stone doorway. Carefully, he rotates each marked mirror, guiding the beam to the next symbol, building a glowing pathway of reflected light. With the final twist, the beam races through all the mirrors, slamming into the honey symbol above the great stone door. The door blossoms open in a burst of golden light, revealing the colossal honey jar ringed by a gentle circle of fire. The camera glides around the towering jar of honey, its golden glow swirling as soft flames curl protectively at its base. Kyo steps toward the ring of fire, eyes wide with wonder at the giant honey jar shining like captured sunlight. He tries to dash straight through, but the flames roar higher, pushing him back with a warning heat that stings. Panting, he sits down, remembering his hungry colony, whispering that this honey is not just for him, but for everyone. As his heart softens and his breathing calms, the flames gently lower, responding to his quiet, caring courage. With slow, respectful steps, he walks through the parted fire, placing a tiny hand on the warm, glowing honey jar. The cavern fills with soft golden light, lava cools into safe stone, and our tiny red hero stands proud beside his prize. Tonight, Kyo, the red super ant, proved that brains, bravery, and a kind heart contain even the fiercest fire. 10 trials later, the honey is his to share. And somewhere deep inside the cave, new adventures are already waiting. And now, our clever little hero heads home, carrying sweetness and stories for every ant who believed in him.